Hi, I'm Marie from wisdompreserved.life, and today what I want to introduce you to is this this old system of gardening. It's called the Mittleider Gardening course is the book that I'm going through. My mom's been trying to convince me to look at this system for years and to implement it into my garden, and I've been a little bit resistant. I've gardened for a long time. I love to garden. I love to, watch the potential from those little seeds into the large harvest, and I love all the things that I can do with it. Having a family that's large with 7 children, it becomes really important for us to be able to find good, healthy ways to feed our family for a good price. So some of the recommendations that he makes in his book are a little bit different than what I would normally do. Essentially, he has you take down your garden from having multiple different levels of nutrition in it down to nothing, so that it's just a really basic soil. And then he has you add them back in, those nutrients that it needs and the fertilizers, so that you can quantify the exact amount that is needed. It's really kind of fascinating, but it's also a totally alien concept to me. What I've always done is enhanced the soil that I do have. Now, this is kind of a blind way of doing things, though, if you think about it. Probably what I should do is give you a little bit of history on this guy. So I believe his name was Jake Mittleider. Jacob Mittleider. And he was an agricultural consultant. He went to like 27 different countries over 55 years, and his sole purpose was to go to the family farms and to teach people how to grow properly in whatever environment that they were in. And having gone all over the world, South America, Asia, Africa, and then of course all over the US, he was able to see that the problems that people had in their garden were very similar all over. And so that he felt if you took it down to the basics of gardening, and then you did proper nutrition for the plants, as well as followed scientific agricultural practices, that you could grow a good garden in just about any soil, any climate, any elevation, and he said practically any season. So, it's kind of impressive, really, when you look at it that way. So I didn't know when my mom first recommended that I do this just how much was involved. It is a little bit of work to get started, but the benefits to that you see for years and years to come, because you can do soil beds or you can do wood raised beds. I'm going to do the raised beds because for me, I feel like that does a better job, just for my brain to contain it. Like, this is the area that my plants go, that kind of a thing. And then I don't feel like you have to build it up again every year the way that you would have to with the soil. So it's a little better in that way. He does a lot of the trellising of any of the plants that will grow up, which is something that I've done for years, but he kind of takes it to a little higher level. I've always used the cattle panel, and that goes up about 4 feet, but his goes up 7 feet tall. And so I'm really intrigued to see this. The pictures I've seen, the testimonials that I've heard make me really excited about the idea. So I've been waking up at about 5:15 every morning so that I can go and make a phone call to my mom at 5:30.
How are you doing this morning, Mom?
Now, she's in Montana, so her time, it's 6:30, so not quite as late for her. But it's been great because we pick which chapters we're going to be reading in the book, and then we discuss them. So it's been kind of like a gardening book club, so to speak. And she has years of gardening experience behind her, so it's been really good to discuss it with her. And as it's gone on, both of us have gotten more and more excited about the idea of doing this. Now, in the past, I tended to want to cherry pick, gardening methods where I would be like, yeah, I like this aspect of that or this aspect of that way of doing things. But I always wanted to take it and add my own spin to it. And to a certain extent, you can do that. But with Mittleider's gardening system, there's really set ways that he has you do things, which on the one hand makes it very easy, but on the other hand, having gardened for years, it makes it a little bit hard because I have to change the way that I'm doing things. So once I had fully committed that this is the system that I was going to do, I thought it would be really good to document it, because if I follow this system exactly, then what are my results going to be? The things that I've seen have been just phenomenal. I mean, from having cabbages this big to 22 days later, having them this big. I mean, it's incredible. And the pictures in here that show the gardening method versus with compost, which is what I've always done. And I just think that it's incredible, the potential that these plants have for us. So I want to invite you on this journey with me where we will explore the Mittleider gardening course and system and see just how well it works in my garden, and hopefully give you some good ideas on what you can do in yours. So don't forget to watch for the entire series on the Mittleider gardening system.